Pecha Kucha 166, Wonder Woman Volume 2, and Money Pig. So I tried to split this week's Pecha Kucha between stuff I did and a comic book. Hopefully I can keep doing it going forward, but you know how it is. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. So this Wonder Woman collection is by Greg Rucka. I read Volume 1 a while ago from the library. I thought it was so good. I went and tried to buy as much of it as I could get my hands on. I got Volume 2 and 3 alongside Superior Spider-Man, which I've just spoken about, and an awful lot of other things, some of which I don't even recall buying, but that's the benefit of having a full-time job. You can start being silly with your income. So, following on from Volume 1, Medusa of Legend is back, turning people to stone every which way she goes. She is definitely looking to kill Wonder Woman, and she's aligned herself with the powers that be to do that, and then starts going after Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was having like a powwow with the president. Medusa starts killing the security guards. She hunts Wonder Woman down at her consulate, where she turns one of the children of Wonder Woman's staff into stone. Then they end up having a fight in a football stadium in front of millions of people, and with the plan being that when Medusa wins, she's going to look at the cameras and turn everyone in the world to stone. During the fight, Wonder Woman blinds herself so that she can basically win, and she ends up beheading Medusa. The Justice League of America decides afterwards is the time to help out, and they all have a fight to test if Wonder Woman, as a blind person, is capable of managing her weight. She doesn't need to see bullets to be able to deflect them from behind with her cufflink things. Everything that's gone on in the current arc has been carefully orchestrated by the Greek gods. So Athena has replaced Zeus on the throne. Athena is the patron of Wonder Woman, so there's a very strong relationship between those two. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on, and then some of the other Justice League members actually team up from time to time. So the Flash shows up to stop Reverse Flash, and I'm going to say her name's Cheetah, a woman who is dressed as a cat lady. I don't care, and nor do you. But it's good fun all round, and Wonder Woman is still blind, and she still is almost unbeatable. Ares, the god of war, is playing both sides of the Greek gods' pantheon, those who side with Zeus and those who side with Athena, against each other for his own ends, or so it would seem. But he might be in league with Athena. Typically, he helps Wonder Woman more than he hinders her. And yeah, Wonder Woman Volume 2. Highly recommend it. So I was trying to do some compositional studies of Superior Spider-Man just to get a better sense of how to tackle page layout, because I don't do it very often. Even thumbnails take too long when there's so much going on, so I've got to figure out a better way of dealing with volumes so that it can actually internalize the data. I ended up just drawing J. Jonah Jameson because, you know what, I was trying to figure out what the hell his hair is. He's got a flat top. I don't know how that goes into a faded sides, because I never look at reference. But yeah, I'm still experimenting with brush types. I always am, and I always will. And a co-worker asked me to do them a logo, which I kind of didn't want to do for a few weeks, if not months, and then he kind of convinced me to do it. Just a cartoon pig for his website where he talks about gambling and sports and stuff, or something. I don't even know what it's about. It's written in Portuguese. It's not for me. So I did an initial sketch in Manga Studio, went into Illustrator to start, putting down vector lines so it could be rescaled and everything, because, making easy edits is super important when you're going to show this stuff to someone who's going to say, oh, can you just, change it all? He's this greedy pig with lots of money, chains, and he's kind of dressed like 50 Cent or something. Read into that how you want. I'm just following the brief. I don't really ask questions. Not my job. The chain is a brush to make chains in Manga Studio. I knew I saw it somewhere, but it wasn't Illustrator. It took a really complicated job and made it super simple. And this is what I showed to the guy at work after several weeks of faffing around in about, 4 hours of actually doing the job. I was kind of reluctant to do it, and then decided to take ownership of it, and then things moved a whole lot faster. It was funny because when I showed it to him, and I'm using Vince McMahon's shock face because any excuse. I showed it to him. He looked at it. He looked at me, looked back at it, and went, "You did this?" And I was like, "Yes." And he did it again. He looked at it. He looked at me again, like, "You did this?" And I'm like, "That is the dream, for people to not believe I did it, because it surprises them." So he asked for a background with loads of sporting paraphernalia in it, footballs, tennis rackets, etc., etc. So I went home and I just grabbed photos and then just, rendered them up. Line, colour, shadow, bit of highlights. It's surprising how long it takes to do anything, even when you've got direct reference, such as the illustrator's life. So I kind of gave him this thing to be put on his banner. Loads of different background options. He picked a couple. We've gone from there, and I'm, quite happy with it. It's the kind of job I shouldn't have passed up on, but logo design wasn't fun for me. Let's put it that way. I also got thinking about the Seven Demon story I need to tell, and I was scribbling with a mechanical pencil at work and remembering just how bad I am at drawing. It's great, especially without reference and with no actual plan where I want the shapes to be when I start working. More on this to follow or not. So, Sad Clown of the Week. I inadvertently stumbled across a You Can Draw Transformers book about 2 years after trying to find these things. Written by Simon Furman, who has been writing Transformers for as long as I've been alive. The British comics, the American comics. Illustrated by Guido Guidi, who I've never heard of, but that's not unusual. There are so many talented artists, they probably outnumber the stars in the sky. You can draw Transformers, but this book will not teach you how. It makes the presumption... Well, no, it makes the assumption... No, not presumption or assumption. It asserts that if you can draw circles, squares, and triangles, you can draw Optimus Prime fighting Megatron. Which is true, except for that 5 years in between where you learn all of the rest. This is not unusual for a how to draw book, but it's just a bit more grating because perspective is a kind of a big issue when you're drawing boxmen. So yeah, the book has all the value that I ascribe to it, since I didn't pay for it, it has no value. Again, it's not a bad book, it just isn't going to help you do anything. You're going to have to help you do anything. So I will continue to look for something to teach me how to draw Transformers. And that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 166. I'll see you next time.